Democracy continues to die inside CNN studios. Yeah, they may have gotten rid of the top leftists on the air who are nothing more than a drain on the company. But for the most part, it's still a leftist network that goes against our basic constitutional freedoms and individual rights to humanity. A CNN host and his guest have claimed that free speech is nothing but nonsense and that granting free speech helps Russia and Vladimir Putin specifically. This is the new authoritarian line of the left that they are using to restrict your free speech that is guaranteed in our Constitution and embedded in the First Amendment of the Bill of Rights. Let's get into this. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Rich here. So a CNN host and a former CIA case officer, who's now a current CNN intelligence analyst, his name's Robert Baer, and he claims that free speech is nothing but nonsense and that the granting of free speech, it helps Russia and Vladimir Putin. But you have to remember that it was intelligence officers like Baer who claimed that the story about Hunter Biden's laptop was nothing but Russian disinformation. So his word and about $5 will get you a bitter tasting cup of coffee at Starbucks. Don't forget that. So CNN host Boris Sanchez started the interview by saying that Elon Musk made the decision to reinstate formerly banned accounts after holding a vote of users that found that 72.4% of the people wanted amnesty. Well, Baer said that he wanted that squashed. So on Wednesday, Musk tweeted out the poll along with the results, and he asked, should Twitter offer a general amnesty to suspended accounts, provided that they have not broken the law or engaged in egregious spam? So Musk tweeted over the results of the poll, the people have spoken, amnesty begins next week. Vox Populi, Vox Dei, the voice of the people is the voice of God. So Baer replies, well, Boris, where is Moose and Squirrel? No, he says, I can tell you one thing. Putin will be all over Twitter if there's no regulation on this. Fake accounts, spoofed accounts, and the rest of it. This is a great opportunity for him. They need a propaganda campaign against the United States and against our support for Ukraine. And they're going to be all over Twitter. I guarantee this. Supporting the far-right plans demands to stop arming Ukraine. You just wait. Now, remember, Musk said, provided that they have not broken the law or engaged in egregious spam. And they also told us that the Hunter Biden laptop was Russian disinformation. You just wait. Let's just give this a listen.
And it gets more and more challenging to discern what's real and what is, misinformation or disinformation with deep fakes and with the sophistication by which some of these influence campaigns are developed. How do you discern what's real versus what's fake, even, in light of that sophistication?
Listen to this clown.
Well, that's why the pre-Musk Twitter had 7,000 people going through these accounts. You can pick them out with algorithms. You can pick them out by looking at them. You can check IPs and the rest of it, and you simply block them. And it's not right. And this freedom of speech is just nonsense, because you can't go into a movie theater and yell fire. It's against the law.
Actually, it's not against the law to go into a movie theater and yell fire. This guy's a clown. What if there's a fire in a movie theater? You're not allowed to yell fire. In fact, that was not written into the Supreme Court case. It was in the opinion of the Supreme Court case. That's different. That has no binding merits to the law, to the ruling. Okay? This guy's an absolute clown.
And what Putin's going to do, and the Russians, is they're going to use this as a vehicle to save himself in Ukraine. And,
So these clowns think that Vladimir Putin wasn't already using Twitter? That there were no Russians on Twitter? There were no Russian bots on Twitter? I mean, come on. So this idiot, Baer, goes on and he exposes the fact that Twitter has algorithms that can target certain users, and they can find enough people who fit the owner's viewpoint, if you will, to make it appear that there's a referendum of a lot of people on any political issue that comes up. Does this buffoon not understand that that is exactly what Twitter was doing all along when it was owned by the woke leftists? Of course he does. But this clown show puppet is on the side of the left-wing propaganda. And he's not for free speech, which is one of the given tenets of democratic society. Vladimir Putin is a leftist. He's not some right-wing guy. This jerk-off believes in silencing the opposition. That's all this is about, folks. It's about the left silencing the opposition because they are not intelligent enough to make a cogent argument in favor of what they actually believe and what they want to implement on the rest of us. So when you silence the opposition, then there is nobody around pointing out the fact that you sound like the south end of a northbound horse. So the left got tired of being told that if their IQ were any lower, they'd have to be put out in the sun and watered thrice a week. Now, historically, Baer's not alone in wanting to do away with free speech. No, he has a strong precedent in his favor. His position and his views have been a favorite of left-wing dictators like Stalin, Lenin, Mao, Ho Chi Minh, Adolf Hitler, and yes, Vladimir Putin himself. Baer and his fellow communists have always been afraid of free thinkers and anyone who opposes their Orwellian type of control over the masses. Now, with all the money CNN saved when they got rid of their high-priced, low-IQ talent, you would think that they could afford someone with a little bit of gray matter to work with. This must be part of their cost-cutting measures to bring on a guy like this clown and the former CIA intelligence officer, this Boris Sanchez and Baer. It's unbelievable. It's just another reason to not believe the BS CNN executives are trying to clean up their act and make them a real news network again. I'll take Brett Baer over 10 of these clowns every day. I would trust the first 100 people in the Philadelphia White Page book than this Robert Baer clown. You see, most Americans also partake in a sort of censorship. But what they do is instead of trying to silence the opposition and their viewpoints, they just turn the channel to a real network like Fox or OAN or Newsmax even. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for being with us. I'll put the link down in the description, and we'll see you in the next one.